why Gemini ends up alone. Gemini doesn't end up alone because they're inconsistent. They end up alone because they don't know who they are when things get serious. At first, they're engaging, curious, exciting. They talk, connect, adapt. They make you feel understood in a way that feels rare. But when emotions deepen, Gemini splits. One part wants closeness. The other wants escape. And instead of choosing, they avoid. They hate emotional heaviness. Deep conversations drain them. So they joke, distract, change topics, or change people. Gemini struggles with emotional commitment. Not because they don't care, but because staying means facing feelings they don't fully understand. They say one thing and feel another, and that contradiction creates confusion for everyone involved, including themselves. When conflict appears, Gemini intellectualizes it. They talk around the problem instead of through it. Words become a shield, not a bridge. Over time, partners feel unstable, never sure where they stand, never sure which version of Gemini they'll get. Gemini ends up alone because connection requires consistency, and consistency feels like losing freedom. Do you think Gemini avoids depth, or are they just afraid of being emotionally pinned down? I'm reading you in the comments. Why Leo ends up alone. Leo doesn't end up alone because they love attention. They end up alone because they need constant validation to feel secure. They give a lot at first, energy, affection, presence. But underneath, they're waiting to be admired back consistently. When Leo doesn't feel appreciated, they shut down emotionally. Not quietly, proudly. They pull back, act indifferent, and let ego speak instead of honesty. Leo struggles with vulnerability. They want to be loved without showing insecurity, strong without being seen as needy, and that makes real intimacy hard. They take things personally, even when they say they don't. Silence feels like rejection. Criticism feels like betrayal, so they react defensively instead of listening. Leo wants loyalty and devotion, but sometimes forgets relationships aren't an audience. They're a partnership. Over time, people feel pressure to praise, to reassure, to perform emotional support non-stop. Leo ends up alone because they confuse being admired with being loved, and ego with emotional safety. Do you think Leo needs attention, or reassurance they never learned to give themselves? I was reading you in the comments.